All right, we are live. We are live on Periscope and Twitch and YouTube. And we're about to start recording on Anchor. And now we're recording on Anchor. It is a Thursday night. It's still Thursday, which is a great sign because it means that I didn't start recording after midnight and keeping everybody awake. I feel like I probably get a different crowd. Like sometimes the crowd overlaps, like it's the same people, but then sometimes I feel like there are some people that are there earlier that won't be there late, and there are some people that are there late that won't be there earlier. Hey, magic dude. All right. Hey, all right, right. It's a Thursday night, and everyone feels all right. And it is my last week at my summer job before I go back to being a freelancer. And I always loved being a freelancer, and I was freelancing for the same boss I'm working for now. I was freelancing before, I was doing a few jobs for him before I became full-time. And I really like it. And I was actually scared to go back to become full-time because full-time jobs just don't work for me. For some reason, I get bored. I give off a vibe that I'm bored. Even if I love it, I just give off the vibe that I'm just like, oh, I don't have anything to do, so I'm just sitting around. And then the employers will think that I'm bored, and then they won't feel confident that I'll be sticking around. So it's kind of like a cycle, and it happens all the time. And that's why I always do well when I do freelance, because, when I'm freelancing for you, there have been some people that I have freelanced for years and years, and it just didn't stop. And so it sounds like freelancing could be very unstable and that 9-to-5 jobs are more stable. But for some people, like myself, freelancing is actually the stable option. I'm still planning on freelancing for the same boss, but not as a full-time 9-to-5 person. It sounds like the less stable option. It sounds like the less consistent one. It sounds like the freelancer won't be sticking around, that's why they're freelance. But the truth is, for some people, like me, freelancing is the stable option, and that's the option that you're going to be doing for much longer. Someone is saying I should pop the collar. Hey, Mike. All right, I'm popping the collar for you. Check it out. Do you guys follow my TikTok videos? Because I make really cool TikTok videos, and I post them on my Instagram stories. And if you don't follow me on Instagram and watch my Instagram stories, then you're missing out. All right. It's really hot outside, but I'm still having tea because I really like it. Hey, Sporting Hutchie. You guys have really weird names. So someone's asking about the face filters. I haven't been doing them because you all were complaining that they were annoying. So that's why I don't do the face filters anymore. If you want me to do more face filters, I could. There's so many of them. Let's see. Let's see what we've got today. All right, chicken. Got a chicken face filter. Back. Oh, look. Hey, look, there's Churchill. There's Winston Churchill and his chicken face filter. Check it out, bro. How's it going? Yeah. We're like siblings. Sisters from another misters. Hoes from another bros. Brother from another mother. Alright, okay. Now I'm going back to looking like myself, and I'm gonna let this dude go back to looking like himself. and we're gonna say goodbye to him. Goodbye, filters. Don't know. Okay. Nonetheless, it is really scary. It's scary going from freelance to 9-to-5 work. It's scary going from 9-to-5 work to freelance. And it's always scary. No matter what you do, it's scary. And I don't know about you, but for me, it's scary. I'm constantly worried about, what am I going to do next month? What am I going to do in a few months? What am I going to do in 10 months? You can't think like that, because the truth is something always happens. You always get another client. You always get someone who wants to work with you, or for you to work with them, for them, whatever. So you can't always be thinking about it, but sometimes just the lack of knowing, the not knowing, can be very scary. And I really, because for years I've been an on and off freelancer, and I know that this is what I was meant to do, and it works, it's always worked for me, but it's just scary. And so I really just want to help you guys, if anybody wants to be a freelancer and do side hustles and travel, and because I know that especially Gen Z, Generation Z, which is right under me, I'm a millennial. Gen Zers are like, I think 20 years and under, or 21 and under, or something like that, or 22 and under. So Gen Zers are known to be the most entrepreneurial right before millennials. So millennials are now the second most entrepreneurial generation. Gen Zers are the most entrepreneurial generation, and I think as the younger generations are just going to keep becoming more and more entrepreneurial, and I think that's thanks to the digital revolution, which makes it possible for us to work our jobs and hustle and make money from wherever we are in the world, and we don't have to be in one place working for one person or whatever. And people think that working for one person is a stable option, because you have it and you could be there for many years and whatever. But what if you don't have it for many years? You've got all your eggs in one basket. With freelance, at least you've got multiple streams of income, and that's your lifestyle, is multiple streams of income. So if one person cancels on you, then you're left with these other streams of income. So you're good, and you're not hurt as much. So people are hesitant about being like digital nomads, or whatever they call it, cyber gypsies. People are hesitant about being entrepreneurs because they think of it as like this unstable, what's going to happen. But being an entrepreneurial can feel very stable, and it can feel very refreshing. You're not worried about losing one stream of income because you've got multiple, and you're likely to make a lot less money as an entrepreneurial in the beginning when you first start. Like, you're likely to actually be barely surviving, but as it goes on, there's no limit to how much money you can make with a stable job. When I say stable, you know what I mean like a 9-to-5. You get a steady income. You are going to get a great income. And everyone should work a 9-to-5 job at some point in their lives. And because just I feel like there are so many qualities to 9-to-5 work. So everyone's asking me what I do as a freelancer when I'm freelancing. And so I'm going to tell you what I do as a freelancer, and then I'm going to tell you what I have done in the past as a freelancer, and then I'm going to tell you all the options that you can do as a freelancer, that you can take if you are really serious about the freelancing lifestyle. So right now as a freelancer, I'm doing a mixture of writing. Well, right now I'm not freelancing. This minute, at the moment, I'm barely freelancing. Actually, I'm freelancing a tiny bit, but Not really. I'm full-time at my job, the full-time job that I'm at now, and it's great, and I love it. When I go back to freelancing, when I say freelancing for the same boss, I mean basically doing the same thing that I'm doing now, except instead of being paid hourly, I'm paid per job. So I could do more jobs for more money, less jobs for less money, fewer jobs for less money. And the great thing about that is that I can work harder for more money. The downside of that is if there isn't work, then there's no money. So it's scary sometimes. And so I'd be freelancing for them, freelancing freelancing for 2 tech companies, freelancing for ghostwriting. I've been ghostwriting, writing scripts, op-eds, and just a lot of writing, mostly writing for me, but I'm trying to learn a little more about video and trying to move into that. And actually, for me, my goal is actually really just this. This is like my favorite thing to be doing. I like writing and I still like doing, jobs for people, but this is my favorite thing. Coming here, doing these live streams, focusing on this, and, this is the income that comes from making videos is so small in the beginning, but once people rely on you to make videos and make them at a certain time, which I've been horrible at, but people rely on you to make videos, and you are a positive presence in some people's lives in whatever way that it helps people, like in whatever way that is good for people, then people really help out. Like, I've been getting help from some amazing people, and by the way, I've been saving up your money. I don't do anything. There have been some amazing people on Patreon, which I don't even give back on Patreon. They're purely there to support me. They're not getting anything back. And I don't use the Patreon money. I keep it all. I'm saving it all for when I go completely digital nomad, like completely solo, and I'm totally relying on this in order to make these videos. I think that there's something about what I benefit from, how I benefit from the videos, which I think my audience is benefiting the same thing. It isn't for me. I don't think it's in my videos. I don't think it's really a give and take. I'm not giving something to somebody. It's more that the thing that I'm getting out of these videos is also what you're getting out of the videos. I'm getting connection with my audience, and my audience is getting a connection with me and with the other viewers. So there's kind of like a community. But everyone has their own thing. Ultimately, this is what I want to be doing. This is what I want my freelancing to consist of. Just making videos and vlogging, which I'll be putting out once I'm back to freelancing. I'll be putting out videos more consistently, and hopefully traveling a little bit so you guys can come and travel with me through the videos. But alright, okay, Oliver is my favorite troll. If you are if you're watching from Periscope or anywhere, I definitely encourage you to watch from YouTube also. You can watch from both places, but the YouTube crowd is very funny to watch. I think I have fun with the YouTube crowd. Okay, so that's what I do, freelancing. I'm trying to think of what else I do, but really that. I make money from some of your super chats, although I just started I've been monetized for, less than a month, so it's so new, and that, people, that's like a very new thing. And then what else do I do? There's ads on YouTube, make money from ads, which is also very little, and it takes time for it to become a thing. And then, yeah, okay. So, and then there's like marketing stuff, people pay, and like little things here and there, not a steady income, but sometimes people will pay to have like a product in my, in a picture or something like that. I don't know, in some random picture or video or article or whatever. Okay. Charles says, given that you're comfortable on the screen, have you considered being a news anchor or a contributor? Well, I really appreciate you saying I'm comfortable on the screen. To be honest, before these live streams, I was never comfortable on the screen. Actually, that's why I started doing the live streams in the beginning, because I had no experience being in front of a camera, like live, and feeling comfortable in front of an audience. Even not live. I was just very awkward in front of a camera, and I tried to do it. I remember trying to do it for Rebel. Ezra Levant really tried hard to coach me into doing it, and I just couldn't. I was so awkward and stiff and embarrassing. It was embarrassing for people, for me to be on their videos or their vlogs or shows. And this live stream is actually what helped me do it, and not even just because of practice, but I think just because I had people that were watching this that I actually felt comfortable talking to. Like, I actually feel comfortable with you guys because I don't feel judged. I don't feel like you're sitting there with your glasses and your pen and paper and like grading me. I feel like you're just there because you just want to be here. Like, I don't feel like I have to prove anything to you guys. But in the real world, when I mean real world, I mean in other parts of my life, it's not like that. I feel nervous all the time. I feel awkward. I can't look at people straight in the eye. I used to work at Fox. I used to work as an associate producer on a TV show. And I was always nervous around everybody there. And one time I was even, before, like, years ago, I was even called for an interview there. And, a Fox News interview. And I'm just so awkward. I was on Turkish television. I don't know. I was always awkward, and they never liked it. I'll just put it that way. They never, they could have maybe liked having a conversation with me one-on-one with one of the people, but I never felt comfortable in front of their audiences or in front of the people who were doing it with me. I had coaches when I was at the Washington Examiner's Red Alert. I had coaches. These really, really skilled, very well-connected and well-known coaches would come to our office, and they would just sit with me, like, every couple weeks or every other week, and sometimes, 2 weeks in a row. And they would work with me to try and make me comfortable. They would do mock interviews, mock Facebook Lives, all these sorts of things to try and make me good on camera, comfortable, but it never worked. There were times when I would take alcohol, when I would take vodka, mix it with Sunkist, take it to work so that I should feel comfortable and not tell anybody. So now I'm telling you, so now you know. I would drink before these mock interviews just so I can feel more comfortable. Drink some vodka and out of my water bottle. But it didn't help. Nothing helped. So this is actually very new, and I definitely recommend it to anybody who wants to do camera work, or really anything that you want to do. Just do it, and think of it as practice, and also do it in a place where you're around people that you trust and that you don't feel are judging you. Do it in front of those kind of people. Like, I don't need, when I started doing these YouTube stuff, I also stopped being super political and edgy on Twitter, just because you don't need to have everybody watching your stuff. You don't need to have, because you just want the people who really want to be there, because in a time when you're still building your brand and you're vulnerable and you're still unsure of yourself, it's important to have people around that help you feel comfortable with yourself. Oliver says, "You're a girl. I spoke in front of huge crowds. I don't get nervous." Actually, some guys get nervous too, but they're, well, yeah, I'm sure a lot of girls are like this, but yeah, I've always had a tough time, so it really makes me happy when people say that I'm good on camera, because I'm just like, oh, cool, this is awesome. So I worked many different jobs. I worked many 9-to-5 jobs, and I worked many freelance jobs. I've done all sorts of things, from tutoring to babysitting to piano lessons to I was a typist, to translating, to what else did I do? I've driven for Lyft. I've done Instacart. I've done Airbnb. I've done, what else have I done? I mean, all sorts of writing and getting paid to connect people to different media outlets, kind of like PR. Getting paid to, what have I gotten paid to do? I don't know. There's so much. There's so many different side jobs that I've taken. So many different side jobs. Like, hey, I'll pay you $100 to do this. I'll pay you $200 to do that. Okay, I'll do this for you if you pay me X amount. And so things like that, and those kind of things also take time and building a network to find. Someone is asking what I do now. Watch the beginning of the video. I work in PR right now, but I'm about to go back to freelance. And so I just wanted to go through a few ideas for people who are thinking of also freelancing. First of all, as a freelancer, what I would say is always keep looking for things. Always keep doing. Don't burn yourself out, have a certain amount of things that you'll do each day, or a certain amount of things that you will pursue in a week, and then just don't go over that so you don't get burnt out. But always be looking. Always be on the lookout for different things. And then also, I would say, as a freelancer, try and live a minimalist lifestyle. Always save. Always save at least 6 months is the number they give. 6 months of living expenses, rent, expenses, everything. Don't do anything else. Don't use your money for anything else until you've saved that amount as a freelancer. And once you've saved that amount, then you can accumulate money that you can invest and use for other things. But live a minimalist lifestyle, live on a budget. I know people who are doing this, they're doing a great job. Open credit cards. Use the benefits, the rewards from your credit cards, because some of them are huge. Gotten I bought a ticket. Where did I buy a ticket to? I think it was I bought a ticket to France or London or something with the points for my credit card, for my Chase card. And I just got a Capital One card. It's coming in the mail. I'm so excited about it. And it's just a ton of points on that too. I'm excited to use that for travel. And just little things. Use every penny. Treat every penny as important, because as a freelancer, every penny is important because you're working hard for it. You're looking forward to every penny. It's not going to come if you don't grab it. Call your gym, lower your gym rate. Call your credit card company, demand that they remove your fees. They demand that they remove your annual fees. Demand that they remove your cap on your like, you know, minimum amount that you need to have in your bank account. Sorry, I'm just itching everywhere. Demand that they remove your interest. They make them lower your APR. Demand a higher credit score. My credit score has dropped really low because I forgot about a Comcast payment, and I'm so annoyed at myself because it was like such a small payment too. Like I could have easily paid it off and not had to worry about this, but now I'm not exaggerating, my credit score dropped like a good 50 points. 50! I'm not exaggerating. And I don't even know if it's just because of this. Maybe it's because I had a bunch of hard inquiries lately because I opened, a few credit cards. But it's really annoying. So just keep track of your money as a freelancer. Keep track of where your money is going, where it's coming from. Did you pay your bills? Be organized, because if you're not organized, no one's going to organize it for you because there's no one actually paying your income. Be on top of your taxes. You don't want the IRS to come after you. Those people are scary. Be like really on top of your taxes, because it's not worth it not being on top of it. What else if you're a freelancer? Budget. I've got a food budget. When I'm working for someone, like when I'm working a steady job, everyone stop trying to guess my credit score. It's not as high as you think it is. Just gonna say that it dropped and it's embarrassing. Okay. I know I'm not gonna be buying a house anytime soon. Not that I was gonna, but there isn't much I can do with my credit score at this moment. But I did open some credit cards, so hopefully my higher credit limit will contribute to eventually having a higher score. I've never missed a payment, ever. Never had a late payment, never missed a payment in any of, rent or credit cards or anything like that. So, what else? Had a food budget. My food budget is always higher when I'm in I didn't always have a food budget. But when I have a stable income, my food budget is usually higher. The amount that I spend in general is usually higher. When you're freelancing, since every penny counts, the food budget goes lower. And so generally, the food budget should be between, and I know it's going to seem really low, but you can do it. If you're freelancing, maximum food budget between $25 and $30. Food budget for the day, $25 and $30 per day. And that comes up, it comes out to a maximum of, $900, like, around $800, $900 on food per month. And you don't have to spend that much. That's the highest. Ira says, you call that low? It's not low. It's actually not low at all, but I live in Washington, D.C., and food here is really expensive. So I know here people spend a lot of money. But you're right, in other places it's way cheaper. So yeah, I forget that most people here are not actually from Washington, D.C. Everything here is so expensive, it's crazy. And I don't even know why I live here. I'm hoping to, when I go back to freelance to maybe spend some time away from Washington, D.C. because of how much cheaper it is in other places, and also because I can just experience it. So, and not always be here. Fardy says that makes me feel better about my food budget. Okay, 25 to 30 should be the maximum. There's no minimum. So if you can, so maybe if you're in a place where it's cheaper, you can go lower. You can make it like $20 food budget maximum. You can do, I don't know if you can go lower. If you can go lower, that's great. And like today I didn't spend anything on food. Today I spent, because I was at a friend's house, so I had dinner with a friend. I was actually kind of stressed out during the day, so I was just snacking all day. I had snacks at home, and I was just snacking all day. So I guess I did spend on it before by having those snacks. Another thing is that I realized with budgeting, don't go grocery shopping for the week. And I know people say that, you should go grocery shopping for the week because then it's going to be cheaper and whatever. As long as you have your food budget for the day, you'll be fine. And only get food as you need it that day, or maybe for 2 days. Don't buy a week in advance because you're gonna just finish it up early and end up spending more, or you won't eat it and you're just gonna have rotten foods and still spend more. And so, like, honestly, shopping in advance has never worked for me. Don't bother. Shop when you need it, as you need it. If you could shop every day just for that day, even better. And sometimes you'll have leftovers and you'll eat it the next day, and you won't even have to shop the next day. So, and then the leftover budget that you have from your food budget, you can use it for other things. You can add it to your rewards basket. Your rewards budget is going to be the budget that you have to buy yourself nice things that you wouldn't, to splurge on things that you would have wanted to splurge on. So you've got your budget, you've got your travel budget for the day. I don't know what your travel budget is, but let's say you take the metro around every day, you take it everywhere. Maybe like DC Metro is really expensive, so I would put it at like $10. If you were metroing around every day, $10 per day. And every once in a while you'll take an Uber ride, which costs a lot more, so you can use spill over, okay? And if you don't end up using your whole metro budget, you spill that over to the rewards basket. So any part of your budget that you don't end up using, you can spill it over to your rewards basket and buy yourself something nice, or do something you would have wanted to do. Go get a massage. Splurge, because you don't always have to be suffering and living. You can and definitely do reward, because you need to reward yourself with the budgeting, or else you're just not going to be motivated. You can't just, whatever I don't use, I'm just not going to use it and put it in my savings. No, you should have a budget. Strive to use as little of it as possible. Whatever is left over, you put in your rewards basket. And you use the rewards basket to reward yourself as an incentive for yourself to continue budgeting properly. So that's what I do. I try not to just be like, oh, well, I have X amount left over, I'll just put it in my savings now. It's like, no. You've got a budget, your savings will be fine. Use whatever you have left from your budget as your incentive, because the next month you're going to be even better. You're going to be like, oh yeah, I'm going to work harder to, instead of last month I was spending 90% of my food budget. This month I'm going to spend only 80% of my food budget, and that, and so you just yeah. And then also another thing is that when you eat less, you just lose weight. And you don't, so that's like another incentive. All right. Why is everyone talking about me getting married? Guys, I don't even have a guy. Okay. Okay. A few things that you can do for freelancing. You can, I've got a list here in addition to the stuff that I told you. You can do marketing. Here's what I've been doing that's been pretty cool, and it's actually working. So I only recently started doing this, and it's really working. Basically, you just message people like, hey, what can you do? And I actually met someone on the internet who's did it with me, and I was really impressed because I was like, this is actually working. Message anybody, like, okay, so let's say you're good at, like, this girl is good at graphic design. So she's DMs me. I mean, we had a conversation that was unrelated, but she says, hey, I do graphic design, and I can do graphic design for your YouTube videos, for your vlogs, and you won't even have to pay me for the first few. And that's really great. That's a really great deal. You saw my YouTube videos. They're just like totally not polished in any way. They're just like me, clipping a bunch of random clips of myself. With this girl's graphic designs, which are really nice, she sent me samples, and I was just like, this is amazing. And by the way, this kid is like 18. She's like an 18-year-old or something. It's crazy that an 18-year-old is this talented. But anyway, this 18-year-old kid, and I'm just like, wow, this is great. I would totally do that. Have the first few for free. See how I like it, which I obviously will. And then just hire her. And they're new, so they don't expect a lot. It's not like, it's much cheaper compared to like hiring a full-time employee. You just pay them per job, and it's great. And the same thing with whatever you're doing. For me, it's like, okay, hey, pay me X amount and I'll do this for you. Pay me X amount and I will advertise your brand. Pay me X amount per month. Pay me X amount per job. And it really works. People are always looking for things, and if they don't use you for one job, then they might be like, hey, I don't need you for graphic design, but for my vlogs, but maybe you can make me a logo for my brand, and I'll pay you like $5 to make me a logo. Okay, so it really works, and until I started doing it, I didn't really realize how easily it works. It's really easy. You think to yourself, why would I waste time emailing this person and that person? It really works. People always need something, and they're not actually gonna go and look for it online, and it's hard to look for it. But if you could just message someone and be like, hey, I know that you need help with this and this and this, because I saw your website and I saw that your website sucks, and if you want, and I've had people say this to me, and I wanted to do it, but then I was too busy. I remember that happened, and I would have totally said yes. But I saw your website looks like crap, let me fix it for you, and you don't have to pay me the first time, and then see how you like it, and then I'll manage it for you for X amount per month, something like that. So especially if you work in tech, which I know a lot of people who watch my live streams are working in tech, there's so much you can do as a freelancer. I mean, you're actually the luckiest, people who work in technology. You're the luckiest. Computer programmers, there is so much you can do. So much money to be made in that field, especially as a freelancer, because people need you for like individual jobs, And sometimes they need you for maintenance. They just need you to be there and, like, you know, updating their site or whatever, updating their app, fixing things. All right. Fiverr, Upwork. Fiverr is, Fiverr.com is where I get, like, little, you know, when I want to try little logos and stuff like that, and I want someone to make me a logo or, like, graphic design or something. Fiverr's great. Fiverr's good for a lot of different things. Different services go from, like, $5, anywhere from $5 to $500. Different services, like, you know, either, and it's all per job services, you know. I'll do X for you, pay me X amount, and it's all online, very easy. You get paid. It's very, very quick and easy. Like, people will write, they're writing jobs. There are, what else is there? There's writing jobs. There's people making videos. There's graphic design. I mean, I like Fiverr for graphic design. There's Upwork. Upwork does other kinds of services. Upwork is if you need an employee to do something for you, but you don't want to hire a full-time employee, that's when you go to Upwork. I need someone to help me with this event that I'm doing. It's a one-time event. I need someone to help me throw a party. I need someone to come and take care of my kids while I do this, but I don't want to hire them to be a full-time nanny. Service businesses. You can do, my friend was babysitting dogs for a while because she wasn't feeling well, so she was home all day and took up babysitting people's dogs as a hobby, and then she started charging for it. Hey, pay me X amount per day for me to have your dog, and she would it just became like a dog daycare. Her apartment became like a dog daycare. People would just like leave their dogs there. She's basically getting paid per day for people to have their dogs there. So things like that, make, do people's hair, cleaning windows. These are things that can actually be done from anywhere in the world. And it seems like, oh no, but you need to do it in a place where, you know the people, you know the clientele. It's a little more challenging with service jobs because you have to start from the beginning. Anywhere you go, you have to put on, like with Upwork and Fiverr, it is all digital, so you can still do it from wherever you are in the world. With like individual businesses, like, through word of mouth, if you're not online so much, it's going to be much harder. So the key to being a digital nomad and being able to work from anywhere in the world is really the internet. Try and become as connected with the internet world as possible and form your own internet community. Find other like-minded people on the internet. Become friends with the other people in the comments. I feel like people are doing that. Find other people who are basically your digital community. And once you have that, doesn't matter where in the world you are, you're still going to have your digital community no matter what. You'll have your digital network, you'll have your clients, you've got your business connections, everything, no matter where you are in the world. Okay, so another thing that's suggested is like building mobile apps, building phone apps. Honestly, like, I don't know how, I've never built an app, and I've tried actually, but it's just like so complicated to me. And so, and they say it's like you can do it, all you need is like an app building software, and it's so easy, and you're not the one making it, someone else is making it, and you just pay them for their services. I don't know, it's just so stressful for me, so I have not actually built an app, but apps seem to make money. All right, and they're getting really popular. They do really well. The app that I'm recording this on is actually becoming really popular. There's tutoring, coaching, you can do that. There's consulting. Anytime I meet someone who says I'm a consultant, I just assume they don't have a job in DC. Oh, what do you do? Oh, I'm a consultant. What does that mean? What does consultant mean? I just assume that they just don't have a job. Okay, so, but, you know, I guess consultants are just taking existing knowledge and turning it into a resource someone would be paying money for. So basically people pay consultants to teach them about something. Like a media consultant will help you like become, I don't know, help you with your media stuff, and it's all knowledge based. Like, okay, you know, I'll tell you, it's like a coach, I guess. I'll tell you what to do with this, I'll tell you what to do with that. Like an advisor type of thing. It's so funny to watch people's comments because YouTube and Periscope are like, it's so different. It's like different people. Okay. There's another thing, fix and flip. Basically, a form of trade that involves value added or whatever, value added reselling. So you buy something that's kind of crappy, you fix it up, and you sell it for higher. And you could do that with cars, you can do that with furniture, you can do that with clothes, you can do that with real estate, flipping apartments. Okay, here's my idea. The less tied it is to a certain location or whatever, the better it is. If you want to be a digital nomad, if you want to be able to make income from anywhere in the world, try and stick to digital things, marketing, writing, I don't know, things that you can do digitally or anywhere from the world, managing your real estate from anywhere in the world. Hire people to do things. And when I say hire, it's like you don't have to be a rich person to hire somebody. You just have to pay somebody $5 to do something that would have taken you a much longer time to do, and that you wouldn't have been able to do as well on your own. You'll make a better product, you'll do it faster, you'll be able to focus on other things and make more money that way. And also, you're adding to the market of freelance work, and you're helping somebody else make money. Ha! Don't ever pay people to do things for you just because you're trying to do a charity. People do that, but just don't do that. Pay people to do things that you need. Don't pay people just because you feel bad for them and you want them to have money. Okay. All right. Okay, so another thing people do is domain trading. They buy and sell like internet domains. And I've actually met people who do this where someone says, there are really problems with the Periscope. See, this is why if there's problems with the Periscope, I'm gonna be so annoyed. So annoyed, dude. If there is problems with my Periscope, I'm gonna be so annoyed. So, there doesn't seem to be problems with my Periscope. My Periscope looks fine, but I'm gonna post a link. I'm gonna post a link to this on Twitter to my YouTube, so that in case you wanna, in case YouTube is a better view, go check it out. We're side hustle talk. Okay. Diacritical says that the Periscope videos are about 20 seconds behind YouTube. And somebody on Periscope says, "What's Periscope?" So I actually met someone who would look at all the people who were thinking of running for Congress and very quickly buy all the domains that are under their names. And they're so cheap, these domains. They're like, some of them are like a few cents, and some of them are like $10 or $20. But they'll basically buy domains, and then those Congress people will, they'll run for office, they'll become bigger or whatever, and those domains will grow in value so quickly, and then they can sell it, and then they will grow in value, and someone will want to buy it, and someone will have to want to buy it. People who, let's say Congressman Dick Sweat. I am literally making it up because he's not in a political office anymore. But let's say Dick Sweat was about to run for office, and he in the beginning nobody knows who he is, but he's like about to run for office, and this person, my friend, will be like, "Hey, let's buy the domain dicksweat.com or Congressman Dick Sweat," or whatever they call him, Representative Congressman Dick Sweat, or Dick Sweat for Senate, or whatever, Dick Sweat for Congress, or Dick Sweat for Minnesota, and they'll actually buy a few of them, and basically when Dick Sweat gets higher and he has a marketing team and he has a campaign and whatever, and they basically need one of those websites, they're gonna have to buy it. They'll have to buy it for whatever price you put it at. And sometimes, as someone said in the comments, they'll go up to tens of thousands of dollars for these domains. And it is a good living for some people. Some people are really smart. Some people have been doing it for a while, and they know what to do. They know what domains are good and are gonna sell. And if you get into that, there seems to be a reward in that. You're basically you're basically selling nothing. You're selling a virtual space. It's virtual real estate. You're selling virtual real estate, which is amazing. You're buying and selling. It's so cool. And of course, there's also physical real estate, which honestly I think virtual real estate is better than physical real estate, but there's also physical real estate, which is buying and selling houses. That's passive income, which is amazing. You buy a house, buy it as cheap as possible for the neighborhood, because that way you're always safe even if the market crashes. Buy it as cheap as possible. That's actually something I learned from Daniel Bostic, because Daniel Bostic is actually a real estate agent, in case anybody didn't know. Daniel taught me so much. So you buy it as cheap as possible for the neighborhood so that it's always going to be there even if the market crashes. It's always going to be safe. Rent it out. Always have tenants there. Rent it out. Hire someone to manage it for you, because sometimes just hiring someone to do something for you is worth it. And it relieves stress, allows you to do other things. And you can manage it from anywhere in the world. And then, if it ever gets to the point where it's high enough and you don't really need that piece of price, you can sell it for a lot higher. Um, so Matt is saying, who just has spare house money? Not me. So yeah, most of you are not going to go and buy a house if you want to freelance. But Airbnb is actually a really good gig. I did a Periscope about Airbnb. I had no money when I was doing the Airbnb thing. It was just totally like, it was like a dumb idea, but it wasn't a dumb idea. I just the way I did it was really dumb. I needed to like do a lot more research and, you know, think it through a little bit, do the right way. But Airbnb can be such a lucrative business. It really is. The only problem with Airbnb is that governments are cracking down on it because hotel lobbyists are forcing governments to crack down on Airbnb, which is so stupid. But Airbnb is very, very lucrative business, and until I got in trouble with it, I made good money on Airbnb. 100% recommend. And hopefully, you know, all these old-fashioned corporations and all these hotels and all these, they'll all just go down the drain. Major television companies, internet influencers, becoming a YouTuber or a journalist. I have friends who will charge, who will go places and film things. They'll charge per second. Ford Fisher, my friend Ford Fisher, you saw him on this live stream. He's an independent investigator. He's an independent journalist. He'll go around, film things, and he'll charge different media outlets per second of the video to have his videos in their documentaries and their movies and their shows. These are things that people can do from anywhere in the world. You just have to be very creative and just, you don't have to even have to be creative. You just have to don't be scared to do it. That's all. You just have to be not scared to do it. There's Airbnb, there's Uber, Lyft. Uber and Lyft is stupid. Don't do Uber and Lyft. Honestly, I think it's, like, I know people do it, and for some people it's worth it. Okay, so for some people it's worth it. I personally didn't think it was worth it because the amount of fees that they charge you and for rentals and like the stuff you have to deal with your car, just the things that you have to deal with that come, the liabilities and all the things that come with driving Uber and Lyft, to me is not worth it in any way. They pay you nothing. Uber and Lyft Uber is the worst. They pay their like, these people don't get money. I don't know. When I did Lyft, I was, basically all my money was going away for like expenses for the car and whatever. It was so stupid. Not worth it. Poshmark, people buy and sell clothes through Poshmark, although I tried to do it and it was stupid. Fawn enables people to share their home Wi-Fi network in exchange for getting free Wi-Fi from the other users in their network. TaskRabbit and Zarly allow you to hire people to do jobs, tasks, from delivery to handyman to office help. You can use these platforms to market your own services, from home repairs to iPhone repairs. Got Dog Vacation, Dog Buddy, Dog Vacay, Dog Buddy. Connects dog owners with hosts who will take care of their dogs while they're away. Splinster allows you to rent things like bikes, surfboards, canoes, snowboarding. Spinlister, that's Spinlister. Peer-to-peer lending platforms, Lending Club in the US, Funding Circle in the UK, lending and borrowing of cash outside normal channels. Cheaper than credit cards for borrowers, provides better interest rates than savings accounts for investors. And then other online opportunities. Selling things online, eBay, Amazon, e-commerce, setting up stores online, on Shopify. Amazon has got this associates program where you can market for them, basically share links to their products, and then you'll get a cut of the profit. You can publish your own book on Amazon, make money from writing a book. I think we're gonna have to say goodbye to our Anchor audience. All right, good night to our Anchor audience. In order to continue listening to this, watch the YouTube. All right. Sporting Hutchie says rover.com for dog sitters. Yeah, definitely in the comments. Feel free to suggest any ideas in the comments, any additional ideas. Ad revenues. Ad revenue is really hard to make. Making money from YouTube ads or blog ads, it's hard. It's going to take a lot of ads until you start actually making money. But it's possible if you become like a star or something. Which you can. People are like, oh, well, what is the chance of that happening? Well, the chance of that happening is according to if you think there's a chance of that happening. The reason why there isn't a chance of that happening is because most people don't think there's a chance that's going to happen to them. So it doesn't happen to them. Meaning most people don't even try. Some people try and they don't think that there's a chance, but the fact that they're even trying shows that they do think that there's a chance. Alright. Podcasting. Podcasting used to be like on Anchor. If you listen to my podcast on Anchor, the audio version, I actually do make like money, but like, a few pennies here and there. But it can add up, if I have like a ton of listeners on Anchor. And then of course there is sponsoring, getting sponsors for your Anchor, and then you just give a shout out to your sponsors every show. You say, this is sponsored by so and so, whatever. You can do. You get sponsors. You can get. You can do like, I think it's called brand marketing, where it's like someone pays you to talk about their product on your live stream, their product or their service or something on their live stream. So you basically get paid to just talk about or flaunt or whatever somebody's product on your podcast, and so it's really great. You don't have to go out of your way to do that. Direct sales, network marketing. Okay, there's so much to do. There's so many side hustles. Ultimately, there are a lot of side hustles. You should take advantage of them, but they're going to be really small in the beginning. So you should, and you shouldn't make them small. You should definitely ask for a lot of money up front in the beginning when you want to do services for people, just because, like, people need it. People need your services, and they will pay for your services. So this is what I have to tell myself. Don't sell yourself short, because if you sell yourself short, you're going to get tired of getting paid so little. After a while, you'll just drop it. Ask for what makes you happy and what's going to keep you in the game for the long term. And finally, budgeting. Think of it like this. Every penny that you save, that you spare from going down the drain when you're budgeting, when you're spending, every penny saved is a penny earned. You're basically, think of it as like, I'm making this money. This is money that is going back to me, that I'm not spending on something that's not worth it. And all right, and that's it. Got any questions? You want to continue talking about this? We can talk about it a different night. Talk about it tomorrow, to next week, whatever. But don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. And I'm going to encourage you, after this week, I'm going to start encouraging you to come help out, join me on my other platforms. We're going to do a lot more starting next week. And so I'm really, really, really excited for that. All right. I don't want to go, but I'm going to have to. Okay. Have a good night. Oh. Thank you, Ira, for pointing this out. When shit hits the fan, you can always be a prostitute. Okay? And you can do that from anywhere in the world, and you make good money doing it. You can always be a prostitute. All right. Have a good night, everybody.